Let's do this.
The game starts by letting you choose from 12 different characters, and since I'm super original and the game isn't called Super Light Blue Yoshi Wonder, I go with my main man Mario. The intro shows our arrival to the Flower Kingdom upon receiving an invitation from Prince Florian. We're introduced to the talking sentient flowers and the flower toads called Poplins before the title screen. While the prince, this thing, is showing off his Wonder Flower, Bowser crashes the party with Kamek and Junior, and he merges with the artifact that rearranges his DNA and turns the Koopa King into a giant floating castle head thing. Panic, Piranha Plants, Bowser out. Poplin houses turn into prisons, and Prince Florian can't believe his whole castle was stolen along the Wonder Flower. Mario is like, I got this, leave it to me. Florian decides to be our guide in this adventure, and forward we go towards the first world, Pipe Rock Plateau. We start with an easy introduction to the game and the controls, showing off what's new in this game, blah blah blah, even the Goombas are asleep. We get to try one of the new Elephant Mario power-ups, as well as picking up our first Wonder Flower. This is what this game is all about, kinda like an episode of regular show. Beginning of the level is somewhat normal, until that point where it just switches to utter nonsense and chaos. The pipes come alive, we make our way towards our very first Wonder Seed, and everything goes back to normal. Upon reaching the flagpole, the Poplin prison also turns into a house, and we're rewarded with a second seed. We get a postcard from our visit, and voila, that's it. 125 more stages following this blueprint to go. Next, we have the famous Piranha Plants on parade from the trailer. Upon picking up the Wonder Flower, the parade starts. It's an auto-scroll level where you just need to survive until the end, trying not to get distracted by the singing plant who want to eat you. It's cute.
That was cute.
And even though it's very easy, it's promising. At this point, I can't wait to see what can be done around this mechanic. Like I said before, there is a whopping 126 stages in this game. If I describe them all, it won't be called Super Mario Wonder in short anymore. So I'm going to be as quick as possible going over them. In Scram Skedaddlers, we made a new kind of enemy. A running squirrel that shoots nuts and steals coins. Ah yes, each level has 3 collectible coins worth 10 petal coins each. Not so important if you don't care about 100%, but he makes this level a bit more challenging. The Wonder Flower unleashes a starfall, making us invincible, and we chase the seed from the hands of a skedaddler. Flagpole, second seed, postcard. Next, we get a little cinematic with Castle Bowser being himself, and Florian advises us to use the flower propeller to catch up to him. In his path, Bowser grows plants blocking access to some stages, and the only way to get rid of them is by the power of the Wonder Seeds. Also, Junior controls World 1's castle now. We open the way with the seeds we already got and enter the first badge house. We're gifted the parachute cap badge before heading straight to the training ground to teach us how to use it. Basically, there are a total of 24 badges in this game. You can only use one at a time and change it in between stages or lives. This one makes us float slowly downwards if we press R in the air. We arrive in a free roam zone and check out the shop. Here we can spend our flower coins to buy various things like badges, seeds, 1-ups and standees. These are collectible used in multiplayer. I buy the seed and give 10 coins to open the way north. Complete the first badge challenge featuring the parachute cap and enter the Rolla Koopa Derby, where the Wonder Flower turns the place into a giant invisible skate park for turtles, and I have to find all 5 Wonder tokens to materialize the Wonder Seed. Flagpole, second seed, postcard. Next, another type of level appears, called Break Time. These are short and easy stages designed to be purely fun and still reward you with a seed and introduce you to some mechanics, I guess. We head back south and enter Bull Rush coming through. Can't get rid of these guys. Or maybe with fireballs, I don't know. But you can jump on their backs. They also break bricks we normally couldn't. Wonder Flower takes us back to a traumatizing Lion King scene. I thought I was supposed to outrun them. I wish Mufasa knew you could just safely ride on their backs. Flagpole, second seed, missed seed, broken flagpole, postcard. Next. In here comes the hippos. We use bouncy hippos to progress between ugly Goombas to get the flower, which makes the hippos extra bouncy, but it's not too bad. Flagpole, second seed, postcard. Okay, you get it by now. We get a couple break times and unlock the first Wiggler race. I win by a landslide and I am rewarded with the Auto Super Mushroom badge that will let me start any level with a mushroom. We have enough seeds to grant access to the castle, but I obviously decide to check out the other levels first. A pipe takes me to the underground and I face my first 3 stars level with Swamp Pipe Crawl. The Wonder Flower is a remix of the very first stage, nothing special really. Yet another type of level appears, the KO Arena. We get to choose power-ups before getting sent into a tower with each floor being filled with enemies. enemies. Getting rid of every enemy opens the way to the next floor. Do it fast and you get rewarded with big flower coins, but you'll get a seed for just finishing it. We continue with angry spikes and sinking pipes. One of the flowers turns the place into a giant elevator, just don't get hit and survive until the seed. Next is a badge challenge for wall climb jumping, followed by the first serious 4 stars level, Bullrus Express. It follows the Lion King mechanic we saw earlier, but harder. Keep in mind, it's the beginning of the game. I'm still a newbie at this point. Took me a few tries, but I actually really enjoyed it. Looks like it's time for the castle. The palace starts to fall apart as soon as I collect the Wonder Flower, and I gotta reach the end as I'm avoiding the falling pipes. We confront Junior after getting the seed, and thanks to his dad's wonder power, we take turn at different heights, and he flees according to the 3 bumps on the head rule. First royal seed collected, palace reclaimed, Poplin happy. Next, west of World 1 lie the Petal Isle. Bowser's here, chilling in their center, protected by cloud piranhas. He says he can focus on gathering all the wonder power here in order to pull off a big wonder and control the world. Thanks to the royal seed we just got, one of the cloud protecting Bowser disappears, and it's now clear to our heroes. They will travel across the Flower Kingdom and collect the other royal seeds in order to clear the path leading to King Koopa. To make it to World 2, we have some seeds to collect and stages to complete in the Petal Isle, featuring everyone's favorite mechanic, water levels. We start off with the Dolphin Kick Badge challenge, allowing us to spin underwater to get a burst of speed capable of breaking bricks. In Leaping Smackerel, we swim around avoiding the fishes and other very cute sea cucumbers. The Wonder Flower spawns a gigantic flatfish that helps us break the walls to collect tokens. In Rubbered Cove, we are targeted by diving birds and have to avoid the spiky urchins. It gets confusing when the Wonder Flower swaps the position of the water. We do some shopping and enter Bluebird Roost. The birds here shoot temporary platforms, and we discover the new bubble power-up. We can trap enemies, hit stuff behind walls, and use the bubble for an extra jump. We climb high until the Wonder Flower, then go even higher thanks to a sea of bubbles. We got enough to open the way to World 2, Fluff Fluff Peaks.
They look so mean.
Oh, whatever. After visiting the cabin and getting our first free seed, we start climbing the mountain towards the second royal seed. In Out My Way Valley, little dudes kick ice blocks at us, and the Wonder Flower turns the whole place into a giant snowball that destroys everything in an auto-scroll level. Break Time also features kicked ice blocks, and I think I'll stop mentioning these because there isn't much to say about them. We come across a search party level, where we need to look around and find the 5 tokens hidden around the place. In Pokipede Pass, we just have to safely advance forward while avoiding the spiky caterpillar guys. The flower triggers a snowstorm and we have to dig through it to find the exit. This next wall jump badge challenge is 4 stars. This badge allows us to wall jump twice, and I gotta admit, I struggled a bit here. In Condarts Away, more birds are trying to end me, and the flower totally switches the perspective as Mario now walks on background walls. We keep climbing higher in the clouds and enter Pole Block Passage. Pole blocks are annoying because Mario won't automatically grab them, and I always assume he would. The flower triggers a whole lot of poles to start snaking around, and I'm in charge of collecting the 5 tokens. New badge and new challenge with the floating high jump stage. It basically turns you into a Yoshi, allowing you to temporarily float after a jump. Another KO arena opens up, and then another 4 stars level called Jump Jump Jump, where you have to jump from platform to platform on the rhythm.
Let's do this. Okay. Yay!
We find yet another badge challenge. This time it's about Spring Feet, and it's really annoying. I have no idea why anyone would decide to wear this on other levels than the ones you have to. After completing this one, a propeller flower sends us to the unknown. the special world. Each world has a somewhat secret entrance to this place, and it has 5 stars difficulty stages. Remember jump jump jump? This is basically it, but much harder. I'm kinda tired at this point, my thumb hurts from running and jumping and wall climbing, so I decide to keep it for future me. I come back to World 2 and enter the KO Arena. Punch some clouds, punch some birds, punch some hammer bros, and on to the next one. In Up and Down with puffy lifts, the Wonder Flower turns Mario into cake, and we finally get to know what it's like to be a platform. As we keep climbing, Kamek spawns a battleship on the path, and we're introduced to these little firework guys. They not only help us with opening the way, but they can also grab coins for us. The Wonder Flower triggers a cannon that locks into us, and we find the entrance to the engine after picking up the seed. After buying a badge and a seed at the shop, we enter Countdown to Drop Down, where platforms have a timer that decreases while you're on them. The flower makes us dive into the clouds as we pick up stars and send us back up once we catch the seed. In Cruising with Linking Lifts, we have to build our own platform by collecting parts on the path while avoiding the thunder. The flower doesn't change much, just collect the tokens and voila, wonderful. It's time for the Fluff Fluff Peaks Palace. We've got some skeletons, some fireballs, pretty standard castle things, until we reach the flower, which turns Mario and the enemies into silhouettes of tall versions of themselves. This form makes it somewhat more complicated to progress towards the end, but we end up at the seed that turns things back to normal. Junior engages the fight on some moving platforms, first ice, then honey, I think, until bump him 3 times and get rewarded with the royal seed. We take the propeller back to the pedal aisles and get rid of another piranha cloud before continuing the journey. Right away, we're met with the Dolphin Cake Batch Challenge number 2. Gotta love underwater levels because this is followed by a wiggler race in the water. In Downpour Uproar, we take advantage of rain clouds to climb the hills and get to the flower. This one blows Mario up in a stormy sky. We make sure to grab the stars and avoid lightning bolts all the way up to the seeds. Shining Falls is the next stop, and we're welcomed by Master Poplin, who will guide us as we ascend the mountain and complete the trials ahead of us. I visit the shop and buy a seed before heading to the search party to look for tokens. Hidden Block help us reach the top and get another seed. Next level, the Happy Cat trial, Hop, Hop, and Away, introduces a cute new enemy that imitates Mario's jump. Nothing too difficult though, even after the flower puts them on steroids. In the Anglerfish trial, Ready, Aim, Fly, we are target to arrowhead fishes, and with the power of the Wonder Flower, we use them to jump onto the clouds and get the next seed. A new badge challenge is upon us, the Crouching High Jump. I haven't really been paying attention to the badges up until now, but I have a feeling this one might be useful for reaching high places. It's now time for the Midway trial, Hop to It. One of the copying Mario Turtle runs away with the flower and we start the chase. During the climb, we meet yet another type of enemy, the little bamboo guys, I think. At some point, the turtle can escape and the flower transforms us into it. We can now jump super high and break stuff with our shell. Get the seed and on to the next trial. The Sugar Star trial across the night sky gives us the flower right away, and as we pick it up, it starts raining stars and we gotta run to the seed. In the Sharp trial Launch to Victory, things are a bit more complicated. In this 4 stars level, we ride on bamboo cannons that shoot turtles when we jump. The flower once again turns Mario into Jumping Turtle, and we catapult ourselves to the skies. We're now all set for the final trial, Zap, Track, Dash. Jumping at the right moment and avoiding rain clouds is key in this one, as we don't control speed. The flower once again turns us into a Jumping Turtle, and we're sent into a maze of zap tracks that keeps going up and down. I somehow get the seed, but I miss so many things on the way. Now that all the trials are complete, we are granted access to the Royal Seed Mansion on the very top of Shining Falls. If you were waiting for some kind of castle/palace level, I have bad news for you. This is just the lame cabin of Master Poplin, and he just hands out the Royal Seed. Way to go, dude. Appreciate the help. Back again to the Pedal Isles. We already got rid of half the Cloud Piranhas, and the next stop should be the desert. In Jewel Block Cave, we avoid the falling hazards and use the new drill power-up to get around. The flower then spawns a giant falling block above our heads, and we hurry down the crystal towers to seed. There's a shop before the next world, so we get the usual seed and open the way to the Sun-Baked Desert. Junior is already here and has taken control of the palace, so once again we get ready to get our hands on the Wonder Seeds to unlock the way towards the Palace Royal Seed. This place is an open world, meaning we can start with whatever level we want, as long as the way is open. We buy the Timed High Jump badge as well as the seed in the Poplin shop and look around a bit. I walk on a button, then find the 2 others to open a secret door towards the Rolling Ball Hole level. Avoid the spiky balls and unleash the skeletal dogs towards obstacles. The flower turns the world into italic, and big spicy balls are suddenly after me. Survive and collect the tokens, the seed is ours. We then take on the blooms of the desert skies level. These flying fishes are just like the hippos from the earlier levels, but they fly, I guess? Use them to jump and reach heights, and be careful because they push you around. The flower blows up Mario's body, and we now fly up to the stars looking for the seed. The sandfall hides the Ninja Jump Party level, which is probably one of my favorite levels of the game. It's basically a rhythm game here. By keeping up with the ninja's jumps, the stage fires up and we can collect the tokens along the way. We receive the Rhythm Jump badge after this level to turn any level into a rhythm game. Next up, Armads on the roll. Here, these little armadillo guys roll into balls and launch themselves at Mario, and flower speeds up time. We pick up the seed and on to the next one. We continue the journey with the desert mystery. We fight these mummies by pulling their bandages, and the flower spawns a fleeing wonder seed. We chase it down the pyramid tomb and complete the rest of the stage. Next up is the parachute cap challenge number 2, which I never understood how to complete without getting hit for some reason. In Valley Full Ass Noodles, we're up against annoying green jumpy balls and have to bounce off slippery trampolines to the flower, which slows down time and makes everything in slow-mo. Another badge challenge is up, Crouching High Jump 2, a 4-star difficulty one. It's not particularly hard, but messing up mostly means death, and I missed a lot of stuff. We find a hidden poplin shop where we can buy a badge along with 3 wonder seeds at a price, then take on a KO arena filled with mummies, shooting piranha flowers, snakes in pots, and hammer bros. In Color Witch Dungeon, hitting switches triggers zap tracks and other doors. Gotta find a way through this confusing maze to reach the flower that spawns a ghost of Mario that we need to outrun to the seed. We pay a poplin dude to repair a bridge that leads to Secrets of Shova Mansion, where we'll have to push blocks around to advance forward, and where the flower will empower some pushing turtles to try to crush us. Mario is exceptionally strong though. A hidden pipe takes us to the next world's secret area, where we meet with Captain Toad. He gifts us 50 flower coins, and we are now ready for the Palace and Junior. The flower here randomly switches between slow-mo and speed up, so you gotta be careful on when it changes. I get cheated a big coin by the game, but keep going until I catch the second seed and get up the stairs towards the flooded boss room. Once more, we are challenged by Junior in a really cool water level. It's very weird for me, cool and water level in the same sentence? Oh well. Palace turns back to normal, and the power of the royal seed brings back the water. Propel back to the isle, get rid of the cloud piranha, progress. Playing alone is fun, but playing with friends is better. So Captain joined me on the adventure since him and I were pretty much at the same stage of the game. So, playing online doesn't really mean playing together. It's more like playing the same level at the same moment, but you can still revive your mate if they die. It's also kind of funny how enemies and obstacles aren't synchronized, so unlike local co-op, we don't have the same screen. We take on the battleship level. The flower triggers Bowser's gun aim on you. Then we reach the seed and we crash the ship. We take on Mama Mouthful next. These guys eat everything from power-ups to Goombas, which is inconvenient since the flower here turns both of us into precisely that. In this Goomba form, spikes can't hurt us, but we can barely jump and have to hide behind bushes to avoid getting swallowed. A combination of timing and patience leads us right to the seed. In Nosher Lair, we need to look out for the flying teeth, and we didn't find the flower. I decide not to care. This will give me a good reason to come back here once we're done, I guess. We enter the fungi mines with Captain, repair the bridge with coins, and receive the sensor badge. In Up Shroom, Down Shroom, the mushroom platform helps us go forward, and the flower puts us in Halloween party mood. Cool music and animations, but overall, more fun than challenging. Next up is Tally's Toxic Pond. Thanks to the little vine guys, we can make our way above the highly toxic liquid from this place. Or not.
Toi tu triches, ok. Ah bah bravo.
Comment tu fais déjà?
The flower here takes on a whole new dimension and quizzes us about our Mario knowledge. The first question is a gamble. How many Goombas have you defeated? I have no idea. Next questions are a breeze though, and we go home with another seed in hand. We get inside Light Switch Mansion. I'm usually a huge fan of Boo levels, and this one doesn't disappoint. Play with lights and don't trust every door to make it to the flower, which spawns a very musical King Boo that chases you to the end. Buy the seed from the Poplin shop and enter Beware of the Rifts, where black holes are slowly trying to suck you into another dimension. The flower materializes evil Mario from the rifts, and we have to run and get the tokens for the seed. We then arrive in an uncharted area, the Woba Ruins, where we have to swim through chunks of goo and avoid getting squished. The flower turns you into actual goo blobs, which has to be my favorite transformation in the game. The controls are so smooth and you stick to any surface. It's a blast to play. We complete the Grappling Vine challenge, which is another one of the very cool badges in this game, then reach another uncharted area, the Swaying Ruins. This level feels like a pirate ship attraction, and the flower turns the whole place into a giant slip and slide, which sounds fun, but almost ate up my patience.
Yeah, he's so... Oh no!
Il touche, je vois glisser de gauche
Ah
à droite.
non!
C'est le chaos chez toi.
Ok, c'est bon.
I died right before the end, which means finishing the level doesn't trigger the way to open up, so I quickly go back for another round of slip and slide action.
Attention!
Hop! Oh!
Ça recommence! Yeah. Ok.
Fungi Funk KO Arena has booze, little vine guys, doors with teeth, and finally, goo blobs. A final uncharted area, the Poison Ruins, is next. We ride bones floating on poison, and the flower brings back the banger of a form, the blob. We have to find our way into a maze of ruins, filled with traps and more poison, then climb up, thanks to our sticky powers, right towards the seed. The Fungi Mine's last level, Operation Poplin Rescue, turns both of us into blobs from the start, and we find not only a seed, but also lost poplins who dug too greedily and too deep. You know what they awoke in the darkness of Khazad? They found the royal seed. Nice. Back on the petal isles. You know what happens now. One less piranha cloud. One more to go. We have a boosting spin jump challenge on the way. This badge is the one I'll use almost everywhere now. It's just way too helpful. Muncher Fields is up. We are sent to the background level first, before making it to the flower, which turns off the lights and makes some platform come alive. We make our way to the seed, then back to the petal isle. Before Lava Land, we take on the Spelunking Wiggler race. Took a few tries but ended up taking gold. Another KO arena is next. We start underwater and get rid of the fishes. Then destroy the white munchers with POW blocks and finally bump some Maumaus on the head. And just like that, the way towards World 6, the Deep Magma Bog, is open. It all starts with a search party where we use power-ups in order to find hidden tokens. We look around the place a bit and offer some coins to clear a rock from the path. We get a free seed before visiting the Floating High Jump 2 challenge, where the Roomba Rules is up. In this cave level where drill power-up help a lot, you can push stalagmites, but the enemies too. The flower triggers yet another new form for Mario, the Spike Ball. We can now play bowling with the enemy, as well as style on the haters Tony Hawk style. So satisfying. I wish it was longer. Boosting Spin Jump 2 badge challenge comes after. Bouncing on bubble trampolines is something, but is it enough to impress this flower dude?
Hey flower, you wanna see something impressive?
Impressive!
I know. How about this?
Impressive!
Right? How about this?
Impressive!
In Rar in the Ruins, blocks appear when you look at them and big lava slugs want to give you big hugs. The flower changes the perspective angle and we can walk on the background wall now, making sure to look to the right direction to stop the very affectionate slugs. We buy the badge and the seed at the Poplin shop and take on the Grappling Vine challenge number 2, which is really easy in comparison to the 4 stars level to come. Pull, turn, burn. Pulling the strings will temporarily move the fireballs to open the way, and it's not very easy to avoid all the fire everywhere. The flower then dumps you way down in a lava tank, but allows you to survive and look for the tokens scattered around the place. Spend another 50 coins, will break yet another rock and repair yet another bridge. This leads to the next flying battleship. Nothing special except those god-awful poles that I can't seem to get used to. The flower, as usual, makes us the target for Bowser's cannons and we destroy the engine. The next stage is simply called Hot Hot Hot, and the little corn dudes turn into popcorn when they touch hot rocks. So to avoid getting hurt, throwing water on them should do the trick. Now, this was the most confusing level so far. I got lost easily and didn't even find the flower. Break another rock. At this point we decide to take the palace, since we have enough seeds. It's a 4 stars level too. Toxic goo everywhere. We find the flower pretty early on and get turned into the best transformation. Honestly, not worth the 4 stars so far. And Junior doesn't make it more difficult. He multiplies and since he turns off the lights, you gotta find the real one to get rid of him and get the royal seed for ourselves. We finally clear the way towards Bowser's castle and make it vulnerable. Looks like this one isn't worried at all about this news, saying the preparation for the amazing wonder is done anyway. Bowser then invites us to come and join him. And even though it sounds like a trap, we don't have much of a choice anyway. Looks like there are a few stages to complete if we want to reach the end. The first one is Missile Meg Mayhem. Long bullet bills that we need to ride to make progress. The flower spawns the longest bullet bill you've ever seen, and also the buggiest that kills you for no reason. Carefully ride this thing until the end and avoid the falling ones for the seed. Stage 2 is open, and it's a 4 stars one, the High Voltage Gauntlet. This electricity level isn't easy to navigate in the dark, and you got to avoid getting shocked by many traps. Flower turns Mario into electricity conducting metal and allows us to walk straight to the seed. Next up, evade the Seeker bullet bills. You have to evade the Seeker bullet bills as you make your way above toxic waste. The flower gifts us with a boat that can shoot explosives. It's fun, but spamming the cannon is enough to reach the seed. After then comes Knucklefest, Bowser's Blazing Beats. Seems like everything is 4 stars now. In this evil factory, you need to master bullets, lava fists, and pneumatics in order to reach the flower. The Grim factory becomes a party, but remains very dangerous to walk around in. The caged seed is freed by an avalanche of fiery punches, and just like that, the way towards Bowser is open. After another taunt from Koopa King, we walk up to the final set of stairs and enter the final battle, Bowser's Rage stage, which is of course a 5 stars level. We're instantly greeted by Junior. He gets yeeted by his own traps, and we're off. Flying dragon, poles, fishes, bulls, singing piranha plants, haunted mansion, floating platforms, worm pipes. A collection of previous stages mixed together makes up this side-scrolling first part of the level. Bowser himself then appears, and it's a party. Listen to the beat and jump at the right time to punch his fists and head and avoid whatever fireballs he's throwing at you. The stage then splits, and choosing the right side is primordial to avoid his projectiles. More splits, more platforms, and more hands, ground pound onto his brains, and just like that, Bowser goes boom. We get a royal seed and get a little dance from them all before the castle explosion. And cinematics, freeze frame, and roll the credits. The credits are another scoring level. Hit as many names as possible to score higher, with a large variety of hazards thrown your way, in the shape of many different mechanics we saw during the playthrough. Post-credit scene shows a tired Bowser, carried by an even more tired Kamek, and now starts the post-game content. I'll quickly go through what comes next. The shop now sells new badges, allowing you to choose your power-ups. You can also buy 99 lives for 300 follow coins. The real ending comes with a special world, and it's 5 stars levels. We start with Way of the Goomba. From the start, you turn into a Goomba and have to survive many dangers in the skin of the franchise's weakest mushroom little foe. It's difficult, and kind of a die and retry, but it's good fun. The part with the bubbles almost lost me though. It seems we can't access other levels from here, so we need to find special world entrances in other worlds. I remember I already found the one in Fluff Fluff Peaks, so I head there second. Climb to the beat. I gave up last time, but there is no escape now. The real challenge is at the end, and I end up clear it faster than I thought I would. Thank God. Next. In order to find World's 1 entrance to the special world, I need to find a secret exit from Bullrush Express. This unlocks a new set of levels to complete before, like Sproings in the Twilight Forest, where you can only see shadows and the flower turns you into a stick Mario. Then Cosmic Hoppos, where we must climb higher than the skies thanks to the flower making the hoppos extra bouncy. Then comes the Jet Run Expert Badge Challenge. Basically run fast and jump mid-air. The way is open towards the special world and bounce, bounce, bounce. Like the title says, we have to bounce on the big hoppos to the end of the stage without falling off. Choosing the right badge here makes the whole thing a million times easier, and I complete this one in no time. Good, because hoppos are extremely random and hard to control anyway. Worst 5 stars one so far. With our 6 seeds, we can unlock the semi-final test, Piranha Plant Reprise. It's a remix of the Piranha Plant Parade from the game's very beginning, only much harder. Good fun though. It's not that hard honestly, but you have to stay focused for the whole thing, and it's pretty long. We go back to the Shining Falls for the next challenge. Just go back to Master Poplin house at the top of the mountain, and he'll open the way for you. In Triple Threat Deluge, we have to deal with a triple Lakitu throwing spiky balls non-stop. The flower makes us walk on the background, and we have to try and bounce the spiky balls on the walls to destroy them and open the way. Not so hard, we're making good progress and get another seed. To get to the next one, we get back to Shova Mansion in the desert and open a secret door by shoving a block right. Just like in World 1 though, we first need to finish a couple stages. Flight of the Blooms, a 4 stars level where flower spawns extra bouncy fishes, and the Invisibility Expert Badge Challenge, where you need to reach the end without seeing where you are. The Special World Special coming up is Pole Block Allure. I hate the pole levels, and this one was no exception. The flower makes the poles go crazy, but it's actually pretty easy. Quite fun even. I would even say this level reconciled me with the pole level even. To open the way from the fungi mines, just redo the Poplin Rescue one again to do so. Dangerous Donut Ride is next. We're back in the temples. Falling down and avoid toxic goo and enemies as we fall to get the seed. Pretty fun and straightforward. We get back to the deep magma bog of World 6 and need to finish the levels we didn't complete before. First, a KO arena with popcorn, mouth birds, fireworks and fire throwing dudes. Then, the 4 stars level called Wavy Ride Through the Magma Tube. Take the train and don't die. Then survive the assault from the big fire throwing dude. Next, Dragon Boneyard. Ride the dragon bones to jump over the lava pits. Then actually resurrect one with the flower and ride on a magical journey towards the seed. I also have to redo Hot 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 and find another exit towards the Jet Run 2, Invisibility 2, and Spring Feed 2 Expert Badge challenges. Once this is done, we finally get to Solar Roller in the special world. It's a spike ball Mario level where you have to be fast, because platforms have timers. One mistake is probably enough to cause a restart. This one is very fun though, and we complete it in no time. Now it's time for the real test, the real final level of the game. The final test, Wonder Gauntlet. Kinda like the Bowser level, this is a remix of everything we saw before combined into one giant level, with the flower speeding and slowing down time above all that. It's super fun, but doesn't actually feels like a final challenge. I was expecting something insanely hard, but at least I had a good time. There is a boat challenge where you also need to avoid thunder, outrun the void, and a variety of other traps and dangers. Oh, and also, no checkpoint. We make it to the end, get congratulated by the flowers, and voila! I will chill and casually get the remaining seeds offline to get to 100%, but there you are! Super Mario Wonder. Good game. Great game actually. I overall had an amazing time playing this game. I would recommend it to anyone who owns a Switch. It's a blast. The soundtrack is a masterpiece, and the gameplay works very well. I hope you enjoyed the video. Took me a while to finish this one, but I'll try to be faster for the next one. I wish you all a great year 2024. You can subscribe and like if you want, that helps me a lot, and I'll see you next month. Okay, bye!